sisters and brothers in Old Hill.
Less if I have my way.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Run like the wind.
Look at me sideways.
Come along now. The bastards are looking.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame! For Azaria!
For Azaria!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far back!
Another one of them to fight their battles for them.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
Well done,
Come on!
no shame.
No one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him? I've heard talk of...
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud! Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it. as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. at a guess, my uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably... educated. Yes.
Typical nobles.
How did we never
There are
hear
new
about
billets
these
being
Guardians of
posted
the
every day.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. That normally it only takes a couple of drinks to pick him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear.
Fine. But if he doesn't want to talk...
All right, now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at... Wait a bit.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back, son. Here you are. All done?
Back again, Lord Rosfield. What will it be?
The Iron Kingdom.
You'll soon be setting sail for the Mother Crystal that right. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to break. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystal sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the Blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Justanus, home of Drake's breath, and plucked it from the duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island. And with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity. The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway to the continent, making Drustinus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the remaining Mother Crystals, or die trying.
My father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet against them.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little.
But not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the Flame?
Same way they never heard about us.
Typical no.
I could have sworn we had a few. That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
What's he gonna do? August was worried that something had been... I thought you might want to talk...
I told you not.
Clive just wants to help. Talk to him. Please, mate.
Not the sort of thing...
Why don't you tell...
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. Yeah, you got what you came for.
All right. I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit... Didn't think anything could rattle.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Something tells me this is... If he has doubts, it will have...
I couldn't have...
He said he should have bought that cuirass, assuming you're...
Too bloody...
Glad to hear it. Karen, Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by 11.
And he ain't been himself since he...
Forrest didn't think Blackthorn cared for it. Were nicely put together, that's for certain. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay.
You don't know where we might...
Like I said, he don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends his...
I see.
He did tell, apparently, his next...
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. Now, where the bleeding hell was excited?
Thank you, Karen.
At least you...
So it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best...
I'll leave the hunting. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he...
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to track him down. I didn't take you for a...
Oh, this?
I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in... Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, from spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book...
If it's my...
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first tunnel worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff.
Something tells me you won't be taking...
Fantastic!
So...
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the Gormans of Or... The only problem is that while a beast, no doubt, most likely...
Does the book say?
Well, only that the sweet is for...
Roses. One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something.
That monster's taken quite a like.
Is it business or pleasure? You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here.
Typical nobles.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the Flame?
Good girl.
Good day to you.
You're quite talented with that rod of yours.
I've caught my share with it, as did my grandfather before me.
Good girl. All right. Griffins don't exactly make for easy prey. Let's hope our craftsman hasn't bitten off more than he can chew. Look sharp. Something there, boy?
Oh.
Could that be our man? Are you all right?
Yeah, that griffin caught me before I could get an arrow off.
More likely.
The name's Camille.
Not so lowly. You remember selling to a merchant by the...
Bought a cuirass from me after I lost my... Didn't stop her bartering me down. She sent you...
It's not her who sent...
Well, consider...
You should be.
Blacksmiths are proud folk, and I don't imagine an impressive... Ideally, actually...
What is it?
Treated leather. Same stuff. If your man's as skilled...
You sure?
Well, and thanks to you, I'll be going home with all the griff... Short of showing him how to make the...
In that case?
I'd be much... Right. You sent...
Will do. Hopefully this will sweeten.
Thank you for sticking with us.
What are you after? Thanks very much. There you go. Thanks very much. A fair trade. Wanted one of those. Is that everything? A fair trade. Very well.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other.
You do.